And we are live. What's going on, Lemonheads? I'm glad you guys are all tuned in, jacked up on a Saturday. We're excited to have our guest, the Chief Lemonhead, with us today. Here with some great news, some good updates. It's been an exciting week, and I know we got another exciting week coming up. So, Jason, glad to have you. How do you want to kick this party off today?
Let's start with some of the stuff that's kind of happening in the chats and kicking around. We've got a lot of good exciting news kind of coming around. We've got new pricing feeds and that on the DApp that's going to continue to get better every single week. Our dev team is trying its best to basically get everything rebuilt from start to finish. Obviously on Lemon. We've got record pace right now with validators. I think we're at 49, I think currently in 4 or 5 days kicking off. We've got a new project. We've got LemonPay that went out starting on Thursday. We've got some communication issues. We've got difference of opinion, I think, on the delay. But I'm going to actually drop some news tonight on that a little bit later in the call. Make sure we get more people on. And then, some of the big things we're getting is some technical stuff about the SafePal wallet. And I want to kind of talk about the SafePal wallet, why some of the issues could potentially be happening and how to get around them. So I think that's kind of the gist of my stuff. And then we'll sit here on Telegram and take more questions as they come in.
Very cool. Are you willing to talk about Lem Lotto? We're assuming that's coming next, or is that correct? And is there an ETA or a scheduled time frame for that, or is it tech dependent?
No, it's not tech dependent. So we have our designer redoing websites in that right now. We want to make sure we are staying very brand specific, and so we have a coalition right now. We have dev teams around the world that are trying to help out and lend. We are moving at record speeds. So we've got partners that have some dev teams in certain areas. They're doing the best they can. We want to stay very, very brand specific. So we are making sure that everything is up to par and that before it's released. We've got some samples I think we actually put out about LemonPay already. They were in the chat a little bit earlier. The app is looking amazing. I think that's going to drop here very, very quickly. We have why that's not dropping actually right now. I'll tell you, it actually has nothing to do with design anymore. We're through that. It's having to do with a partner we'll be talking about next week, and they want to be the one to come out front facing. We have a 7-day delay on that project. It is actually the standard time for delay, but it also correlates directly with a live announcement that's coming. So there's 2 reasons why the 7-day delay is there. We told you guys we'd let you guys have 7 days to review. We told you guys would not start anything without light papers being out. We tried to make sure that commitment stays in force, and we're trying to live up to all of it. So we're not missing deadlines. We're just telling you what the deadlines are. You may not like them being 7 days out, but there are reasons for it. Let's talk about Lem Lotto. Lem Lotto is a project that will probably kick off next. It's probably going to be, I'm going to guess, Tuesday that it will go live and out. You probably will actually have another one on Tuesday. I believe it will be LemCare popping out with LemBake then on Thursday. All of them will be out by Thursday. They will all have a 7-day delay. We have something fun coming for the early boomers. I was trying to release it with LemonPay. We have some technical things that just ran a little bit light. Everybody loved to have unlimited minting. Who doesn't like unlimited minting?
It's kind of nice.
Nice. And no one likes to have those 100 wallets that everybody this week has found out nice little circle ways to get around the one person, one wallet time period. Guys, I'm just going to break it for you. I'm going to let you guys have fun. Let's stop the agony, stop the headache. We are going to cap out the large guys. I know who they are. We've actually have an agreement with them. Who's breaking it right now? No multimillionaire that I have friends with. They are not sitting on the phone for hours on end, not getting sleep, setting up multiple wallets. Who's breaking it right now actually are the base, basically saying, I want to be the whale. And they are the ones doing everything they can to figure out the little nuances and how to get more and more and more and more. So I'm just make it easier for you. I'm just going to open it up. And what we're going to do is for all the L2 projects, we're going to break the system for 7 days, meaning I'm going to let you guys for 7 days mint as much as you want before the large guys come in. Then we'll let the large guys basically come in, and they're going to be capped out. You guys still get to come in for one a day per wallet. If you guys want multiple wallets, feel free. But let me save you guys some sleep. Let me save you some agony. Let me save you some pushing of the buttons. Colin here has been nonstop showing me that we have a system that can be worked around. If I build it, he will break it. And so it's actually been very good for me to kind of watch the human interaction of what's kind of going on. But there are some caveats to that. So understand we have another issue right now with LemX. We need to fix it. And so we're going to let everything go the way it is until August 5th. And I have an announcement probably on the 1st to 3rd to fix the LemX problem. But guys, have fun. Right now, we're at a good price. We've got a lot of validators still to sell. You guys want to take some profit on the table. The small guys want to say, look, now is our time to, have some fun and get some more frees. Let's stack up and rack up. LemonHead it up. Honestly, just have fun. I'm not going to get upset about it. It's something that I obviously did not anticipate. I cannot get mad at anybody for breaking something that I thought I very clearly solved, and you guys just found a way around it. Enjoy it. I'm not going to get too much in the weeds of it, but we've tracked now the largest holder, I believe, of wallets that I've been able to see. The only reason why I catch it is because they do it 2 days in a row, top to bottom, and you can see the order that they're doing them in. 382 wallets, I believe, is the record. I do not understand how the hell you can actually do that. I'll be honest, this is insanity. But bravo to you, because there is not a single well I know that's willing to do that. So,
that's crazy. Yeah, it's been a lot of work.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. So let me just make it easier for you. Let's go ahead and let the little guys have some fun, and or people just want to put their toe in the water right now. All the L2 projects for the first 7 days next week, we will break for you on purpose for the 7 days. So you're still not going to get distributions. But if you would like to basically come in, we're going to go ahead and I've got a good conversation with the whales from the, let's say, close friend group that I know. We're going to hold off, and we're going to have everybody come in, enjoy your time. Don't spend your time 7 hours, 10 hours at night that should be sleeping after your job creating walls. Just come in and have fun with the L2s. We're going to break them for you. We're going to let you guys kind of go out and have fun. You're still going to be able to break the system and have these multiple wallets and that until about August 3rd, when I announce it, and hard break on August 5th. We're going to close it. You're not going to like me how I'm going to close it, but we are going to close it for LemX. But we're going to keep this idea open for the L2s. There's a lot coming, and I think that's really where a lot of the money's being made, anyways. The L2s.
Yeah, I'm excited about the L2s, like big time. But yeah, I just want to. Can everyone just please stop diluting me out there? Disregard what Jason just said. I prefer just to have them all for myself, please, and thank you. So a lot of things are happening around August 5th, and I saw you're looking at putting a cutoff date for the validators. I'm guessing that's because we are going to start test net type activity between the validators and the L1 and Lemon Tree interaction. How close am I?
You are dead on. That actually is. So it's not the launch of L1. It is the test net of L1. And so what we have to do is basically get everybody up that has already done the validators. We're going to go ahead and get you guys live. We're going to make sure that you guys have them solidified. We have enough verbal commitments that will purchase them before August 5th and or that have already purchased them and are committed. They're just dragging their feet and are waiting for token price to be correct to come in. So that will happen by August 5th. We have the 500 situated. So that's what we need. They are very, very decentralized. The founders were looking at coming in for 500. We've capped ourselves right now at 50 because by us coming in would be 50%. We're not going to do that. So we're going to let the 500 from the free community come in. We're going to come in for 50, which puts us at 550 for launch for testnet. As the new validators come on, we are capping the founders at 500 total, which is 10% of the network. So the founders will only own 10% of the real estate in the blockchain, which I think is incredible. I think it's amazing. And I don't think there's any other blockchain like it, quite honestly. And we hope that the validators continue selling out, but we're not going to allow that to happen during testnet and for pinning it up. So we'll probably start again. I don't want to tell you the date because then it gets fuzzy, but it has a September in front of it when all migration basically comes from Binance over. And that'll be the time we'll start doing validators again, and we'll have you'll have about a 1 month period where you're going to probably be behind the 8 ball with revenue for them. But at that point in time, you guys can come live, and we'll start up validators again.
Very cool. If tech permits, is there any chance an L1 could go live in August? Or if tech permits, because obviously you can't commit to a date, but I mean, why delay something if all cylinders are firing is kind of where my head's at. But
L1 will be live in August. Migration will be September. So that actually is why we're going to stop the validators. It is happening in August. We're just basically pushing off migration, which is the process of getting all these projects from Binance over to the L1.
And is that going to be kind of like a timestamp model?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So got it. Timestamp hard fork kind of deal. Got it. Very cool. Well, damn friends, are you guys hearing this? Like, let's hear it in the chat. I mean, this has been a milestone that Team Anderson's been working on for a long time, a dream finally coming true. It's got to feel really good to feel. Yeah, how does it make you feel? I mean, honestly, that's finally going to come true and be fruition.
Barry, thanks for asking. I'm excited. It's good to go.
You don't need sleep that bad. It's overrated, Jay. You're all right, man. Very cool. Very cool. So, is this migration and testnet stuff? Is that going to cause some delay in new L2 projects? Are we still going to keep rolling them out kind of during that time frame anyway and adapt?
Yeah, there is going to be some time delay. That's actually why we're forcing out as many as we can now, because there's going to be a delay probably in the month of August, and then we'll start up pretty rapidly. We have a lot in the backlog. We're over 80 currently right now that are kind of sitting on the sidelines. They would all like to come on right now. And so what we're trying to do is push those off a little bit till we get the L1 pinned up, we get the migration done. Doing that many liquidity pools is a nightmare. It's just tech. And so understand, by the time you basically get every pairing done and then you're trying to migrate it from one chain to another, you've got liquidity issues of unstaking and pooling other people over. You've got other people that have staked in those liquidity pools for DEXs. You got to make sure you can communicate with them, because a lot of times you can't, because it's all decentralized. I don't know who they are. We don't want to hurt anybody in this process. And so we are going to limit the amount of liquidity pools, which everybody asks me, why are you delaying so long for, let's call it LemonFlex, for instance. Why are we living so much right now to get that thing live? The reason why is we're trying to make sure that the liquidity pools are minimal to move from one to another. Once it goes over, we will make sure that is online ASAP. And so LemonFlex will be first up. It is scheduled right now to go live technically in August. It will be on the DEX first. It will be very, very powerful day one, but I don't want to move that from Binance to then RL1. It just doesn't make sense right now for a few weeks.
Okay. It would seem to me like this might be an opportune time, and you can correct me if you don't feel the same way, but a good time to talk about some of the legacy OG projects. You finally were dropping some hints in the group chat today, so that kind of triggered me to feel like maybe you are ready to discuss them, and maybe it is a good time to talk about those.
Yeah, it's a week away. So we're going to have a vote. And honestly, I kind of, I hinted about this last time out. I've got a lot of feelers out there into the OGs. I do know a lot of the large holders. It doesn't always matter about the large holders, but the large holders do have the largest vote right now. I believe we've actually circled the vote for everything except for 2 projects. So I'm not going to tell you which 2 they are, but we are working to try to make sure we understand the temperature of the room before the vote, although we cannot dictate the vote. We believe right now everybody's coming over to Lemon. That is a very, very strong opinion, I'll say at this point. We're not seeing much kickback to it. The variations of coming over are going to be somewhat different. And here's what I mean by that. You're not going to go from blocks to blocks. There is a new project. It has other things to it. You're going to migrate from a similar project to a new project. The biggest kickback we're getting is tokenomics are going to change in that process for 2 projects. So BEV is going to be a total change of tokenomics, and so will blocks. And so Drip is basically the same thing we're running right now. Rev is the same thing we're running right now. So the 2 would basically be the BEV blockchain tokenomics and the blocks blockchain tokenomics. That is our biggest hiccup / frustration. And so we may actually have 2 oddballs on the new chain. We may have two that just their legacy, they are what they are, and we may just bring you guys over into a different name, burn the contracts, but we may do something similar over into the new chain. Those tokenomics are not as fast as Drip and Rev. Drip and Rev are pretty much exhausted. They're going to come over right where they're at, kind of like a pause in moment for maybe a 2-day period. And Rev is pretty much depleted out already. Drip in about a week will be the same way. And so understand that those two projects are easy. The other two have more complications to them because it does directly affect the note holders.
Okay. But it will be brought to a vote, and there will probably still be some kind of transferability of some sort, like in the tokenomics. Yeah, I figured that.
Yeah.
So just about working out those details.
And we have more projects with them. So the nice thing is, you guys will know that we have something on this side ready to go. Revenues are situated, things are coming, and you're transferring into something that it's ready and willing to basically welcome you to the family. And so I think that's the biggest thing, where a lot of people are kind of questioning, okay, well, what does that really mean? What about the past stuff? What about the new stuff? Do I get to have both? Yes, you do. There are some changes to tokenomics potentially, but I think it's good for everybody that's been holding stuff. So, that kind of being said, I can't get into too much detail because I don't want people to go out there and try to, guess what's going to happen and pick up token or whatever. Stay neutral right now. Just wherever you're at right now, just don't do anything because we don't know how the votes are going to come out. You may get killed one way or another. A tokenomics change will affect token. I'm telling you that right now. So it will burn a lot of token if we head that direction. I don't like that option necessarily, as well as I do some of the others. But I will tell you that Drip and Rev, they're solid. They're not going anywhere. You're not going to really feel a beat. You'll see a name change. That's pretty much it. The other two are going to have some changes to them.
But those changes aren't necessarily negative changes. They could be very positive. You're just saying that some people may not have an appetite because they fell in love with an idea that's in their mind, essentially. Nope. Uh-oh. I think we may have lost them. He'll be back in a minute, I'm sure, friends. Yeah, we did. Okay. Friends, let's hear it in the chat. Who's excited about what's going on here? What are you loving what you're hearing so far? Let's see what we got here. Yeah, he'll be back in a minute. Don't worry about it, guys. Let's hear what you guys are feeling right now with what you're hearing. You guys loving it? Yeah, okay, good, sir. All right, he's back. There he is.
For the tech capital of the world, I will tell you that the outages for the last 48 hours have been a little rough. They're still trying to figure out some of the tech stuff that's been going on.
We're gonna have to get our own LemonHead going as a new project coming up soon. I know you and I have had discussions about that over the past couple of years. What I was asking was just for ease of understanding for people. The changes you're describing are, generally speaking, very positive, and most people are going to embrace them. You're just meaning that some people may be in love with an idea in their head and they might need an adjustment period kind of deal, right? There's still positive stuff coming.
There's positive. I don't think that any of the changes we're talking about are actually a negative to a node holder currently right now, or an FT holder. They're not going to be negative to a token holder. We have options for a good transition from one to another. There are particular tokenomics. If the tokenomics change, I think it's going to really benefit the holders of the token versus people who have been sold them. And the reason why is the depletion of the token. If we speed up the EGI pools to go to the new tokenomics, the people that have held blocks, for instance, they are going to benefit majorly in this. And so if you're a holder and you've been here, you're going to love this idea. If you've sold everything off and you're selling these low prices right now, you're probably not going to love the idea of your tokenomics may kill you off in the next 12 months. So it's going to have some bads. Now let's talk about the goods. There's a lot more things we're doing with it. There's a lot more revenues coming in. There are a lot more positive things immediately heading to that project. So you kind of just have to look at the good, bads, and uglies and kind of swallow it. But I will say, I don't think there's any net negative anywhere. It's just a difference of opinion of people trying to live on something for the rest of their lives, or getting into something that is a free model, which everything, the other 300,000 NFTs, I believe, that are basically in blocks, for instance, they'll be a free model and they'll come out and get running.
Gotcha. Two questions there. One is, are you willing to speak about any of the revenue backside to those 4 projects that are incoming? I know some of them are time sensitive and some may not be. Is there anything you want to touch on there?
I'll be blunt. Let's talk about Rev. We've got auto connections right now in the exotic car market. The exotic car market here is very, very deep. Over 24 exotic cars rented out almost 92% of the time throughout the year at obscene revenues.
Yeah.
They are cash flow positive on a car in under 10 months. So every Ferrari they purchase, they basically have that equivalent in 11 months back. It's insane. Those royalties will be coming into to Rev. We've got Drip and Bev. Those are actually a migrated project. We're actually going to try to squeeze together into a new product. I'll tell you, it's Lemon Squeeze. It actually is a product. We're trying to basically take the water and the beverage distribution and put them into one. I'll say what the vote is. That's what we're trying to hope to do. The reason why is we have distribution for all kinds of new things. Jake kind of touched on it. We have humanitarian water coming in contracts. That's revenue. We also have a whole line of lemon products. We're talking about lemonade in every color, every nice little tart to sweet, all the way across the bucket. And these products will be distributed by a very well-known top brand in the world. I'm not going to drop that today, but guys, this is something that we're physically trying to get out and get running. I want the vote to happen first. But we are going to combine those 2 projects in the vote. That'll be one of the options, and I believe it makes sense. The reason why is water. We can do flavored waters. We can do distribution. It made sense to keep them separate in the old model. It makes perfect sense right now to actually combine them because it brings in revenue not only from the humanitarian source, which is almost unlimited right now. It also gives us the nice ulterior to do the alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages and hard lemonade beverage business, along with the beers and seltzers we currently do. So I think it's good.
I know you don't want to talk about the distribution on that one side, about the humanitarian side. Are you willing to comment on that, or is that also something we should hold back on?
No, sure. Like right now, you need to understand that every single country around the world has large expenditures to help certain areas. Right now, every single war-struck area has X amount of capital that goes into dropping pallets of water, pallets of product into these countries. We are positioned correctly currently right now in the jurisdiction that we're in, along with some of the partners, to make sure we get those contracts, which basically means we can turn the presses on. Presses meaning we're physically turning the bottles and packaging on, filling them full and getting them out. And that will basically give us a consistent revenue stream, because it doesn't matter if there's a natural disaster around the world or whether we have a war in certain areas. Right now we obviously have 2 that everybody are well aware of. I don't need to mention them. And we have other natural disasters that happen all the time. And so this allows us to tap into that capital, whether it's a Red Cross situation or a charity event, or whether it's something more, which is actually governments putting X amount of capital to assist in a humanitarian way for these areas. That pretty much gives us unlimited ability to tap those contracts and get that water going. The other side of it, guys, we're opening up new markets. Lazy is the only distributor right now for products underneath, but we have a whole new avenue coming right now with the Emirates. And so that allows us to get into not only the alcohol distribution here in the Emirates and all 7 of them, but it also gives us the ability to get distribution into the travel destinations here, which is the casinos, which are the hot spots in Dubai. This is what is giving us the catapult to basically make this product, I think, very, very appetizing and exciting for new blood, along with the old OGs.
Yeah, I'm really excited about what's going on with those 4 projects. So I'm pumped for it. I know where my vote's going. Another question that's been coming up is the airdrops. You want to just handle that so we can kind of put it behind us?
Sure. The second these transactions and the OGs are over, the very second, guys, airdrops, they've been programmed for a while. I will do them, push of a button the second they get here. So that's all I'm waiting for, is basically the whole migration to come. I told everybody it could take as long as the first week in August. I think it'll happen probably next week, but understand it is a pass off. There are some security issues with keys when you're transferring these types of assets around. It does take multiple SIGs. So people are traveling all over the world. It's a technical thing. It's not a speed thing of trying to get it out to you guys or not. It's just we don't want to have anything compromised in that interim. It does take 3 keys to do that. So understand we are in the process of doing it. I hope it happens next week, but it may tail into the first week of August. So
I got you. Is there does all this coincide with an estimated date for when LEM would be paired to these new to those projects?
yes, and I will tell you that if the vote happens and it goes the way I think it will, and I think everybody that's on today is all things Lemon. So I think if everything happens, the pairing will be doubled up for a minute. There are liquidity pools currently right now with debt. Those are not going to go away. We're basically going to tell you guys we're going to keep them both open for a minute. When L1 happens, that's when the other liquidity pool will drop, and the new liquidity pool will be on the L1. You'll be paired with Lemcoin, and that obviously will be great for everybody, and you guys will be able to have the upside of the whole new ecosystem.
Okay, very cool. Exciting stuff. You dropped a hint in the chat earlier about some exciting stuff for the next 7 days. Do we want to kind of start leading into that direction?
Sure. So for every L2, I kind of mentioned at the beginning of the call to you, some people may have caught it or may not, but what we are doing to offset the potential swap issue, it really doesn't have anything to do with Mint. Mint, guys, we're a new company. We don't have anybody over here. I hear it all the time. Well, I've put XYZ thousands in. Guys, not with us. You haven't. And so I don't want to downplay any money that you've had in XYZ project. I don't care if it's Ripple. I don't care if it's Ethereum. I don't care if it's Bitcoin. I don't really care if it's debt. I don't care what project it is. I don't have it, and it didn't come here. But we are trying to make sure that the community members that know me, the community members that I have been with for years, they have a path forward. It is a huge personal cost for me to do this. But what we're doing is allowing you guys to come over with a swap mechanism. That swap is nothing coming to here. Understand all that is basically burning the asset you currently have. So it doesn't get anything to Lemon. It's just a pathway for you to make a decision to come over and diversify to multiple products in the network, and anything powered by debt, which debt is still the technology that underwrites both platforms. So you can bring it over. You don't have to. Mint, guys, these things are free over here. And so you're not spending thousands on NFTs. They are free. Enjoy the minting and just kind of get through. What we are doing for all L2s, and this will be a little bit delayed for LemPay purely because of the tech behind it. We tried to push it out before it, but I had deadlines. I want to make sure I hit them. We are going to allow the system to have unlimited mintings and swaps, which swaps are already that way. We're going to allow unlimited mintings because swaps disappear on August 5th. We will allow that to continue happening for a 7-day window heading in. So you guys will not be capped at 1 per wallet per day for 7 days. After that, guys, you're back to the brute force that you guys are doing right now, and it's 1 per wallet. Set them up. So if you guys want them, just set them up and get them done. That way you guys can hit whatever goal you have in your head. Don't spend time not with your wives, with your kids. Just go enjoy life. This is supposed to be a lot lighter and a lot more fun at Lemon. We're trying to make sure things don't break in a way that economically that don't make sense. But at the end of the same day, we want to make sure you guys are here with your family and you're having fun and you're enjoying a zestful life.
Well, I know I'm excited about everything that's going on, and I wish people understood, and I think a lot of people are missing just some details in between and some mechanics, just how many great lengths you guys have gone to trying to make the community whole and create lots of options. And I just wish people understood how much being left on the table. It's amazing the stories that people are conjuring up in their minds about a lot of things, but I'll leave it at that. But I just wanted to applaud you publicly. I'm a big fan of everything that you're doing right now. It's just so exciting to be excited again. Who's excited to be excited again? God damn, it's been a bad year. It's just great to be excited every day, waking up to this and excited for the future. So this week we are going to hear from hopefully 2 large partners. Am I speaking accurately on this? Is that a reasonable expectation? Oh, he dropped out on us again. We'll get him back in a second, friends. Yeah, I like all the excitement in here, friends. That's it. That's the shit we like to see. Keep it fired up. I like it. Joe, I'll try and catch that one in for you if I can, man. Drop a few comments and we're waiting for him to come back here so everyone can see the enthusiasms being shared, right? Get them LFGs up. Guys, the sellers are going to hurt this week. It's going to be a little bit amusing to watch. Lemnet. We're going to work on Lemnet after this call and get it running.
So apparently everybody knows about the new hack that basically happened. It kind of went around. It actually has affected the internet here and the air conditioning. So I will tell you, both of those things over the last 2 days have been rough. So
air conditioning too? God damn.
Yeah. The hotel keys in about half the hotels here stopped working. So you actually had to have a manager key come up and let you into the rooms. You had to be escorted every time you got around. And the internet has been very, very awful in the last 48 hours due to that the large hack around the world. So we're here. We're working through it. And unfortunately, we may have some drops, but I'm back.
Oh, I can't believe the AC's out and stuff too. Hopefully people learn that Linux is a much better way to go from that thing. I was stating earlier that is it a reasonable expectation for people to hear from some big announcements, maybe from some partners, maybe this week? Do you want to kind of set the tone for that?
Yeah, I'll say, look, this week you'll have at least one, and we'll put it at that. I actually have two lined up, but understand these guys are very busy. They're very large, and I'm doing my best to kind of get them to do a Zoom. They are excited to do it, but they are just busy individuals. I actually had it teed up last Wednesday, and unfortunately, one of the individuals was landing in Russia, and because of, let's just say, the internet in that transport out there, Zoom was not working, and almost everything was basically being shut down. So he's back out, and we'll be able to get him online. And I actually believe we'll have a second this week. We'll have to see how kind of things play out, make sure we don't have any technical glitches. I will pre-record them. It's not something I like to do, but we will pre-record them with Terry if we need to. That way we can kind of get them out to everybody, even if it's an oddball hour. Terry's agreed to, come on board, and I appreciate him for that. Any hour of the day to make sure that we can kind of get these partners out there in front of everybody. And I think that'll happen this week.
I love the way you have your poker face on and you're downplaying the emotion of some of these things that are coming, because they're pretty damn exciting. I think people should need to be fired up and making room in their schedule to at least be on the lookout for when this does drop, because I think they're going to be excited and loving it. So,
yeah, these are fun and they're big, and I joke because I've been numb about it for weeks. And unfortunately, I've just had to kind of just bite my tongue for weeks. And I kind of just get to the point where it's like, it'll happen when it happens. And when it happens, the TAM is broke. It's done. So I'm very excited about it. We have a lot of things coming, and Terry is ecstatic. Obviously, he's heard some of the rumors, and they're not wrong. And so I think Terry's wanting to yell, and I keep telling him, you got to hold it back. So they're here, and it should be this week. We should have a couple fun ones.
I have lots of little birdie friends, I guess, that just drop these messenger things my way. But yeah, very, very, very exciting. So, and all this time I thought you're just working on your poker face so you can win at Club Lemon and clean house to make up for some of the money that, you got to win some money somewhere because everything's free over here. And you guys are just donating so much stuff to charity, really, if people only understood. So fantastic and thrilled about it. What's the testnet window for validators do you see in realistic terms? Because you're getting a back-end demo side on the L1 already. You're already seeing the Lemon Tree side of it. As long as the validator software checks out and there's no glitch, seems to me I like the runway.
2-3 weeks. Yeah, I don't think this is long at all. I think it's going to be the block explorer is something that is going to probably be the longer part of that's probably going to be a whole week. Everything else is going to go up really quick. And so I'm feeling very confident August is our window, and we'll hit it, and we'll probably exceed it. So I don't think we'll get to the end of it.
This is awesome. I love it. I love it. Is everything still on schedule for the big public release that was discussed in October-ish?
Yes. And the marketing company doing that and pushing it together is about ready to finalize the dates. We have venues, we have artists. So all that kind of has to be worked out to make sure that we have everybody locked and loaded and without any other agenda items. I believe that'll all be about the first week in August. We can announce the dates, get everybody situated, give everybody plenty of time to make their travel schedules very well known. And the event alone will probably get close to 1 billion eyes on it between August and October.
Guys, did you hear that again? Everyone listening on that? Yeah, I mean, I also think there are some news events that are coming in between there that are just, there's no way they're going to get ignored. There's no way they don't ripple out and create a big splash in the pond of the world, so to speak. And so, and I just think also, just strictly from a solution standpoint, no marketing, no hype, no nothing. I think LemonPay solves such big problems. It seems to me, in my mind, inevitable that word doesn't spread like wildfire about what's going on with that, because I think people are desperate for those solutions. Everyone hates the fiat on and off ramps, crypto conversions, bill pays. There's a few options out there that are okay. They're still not where they need to be, and the fact that all of it gets solved in one single place is just incredible. And on that front, what about the Lem cards? Is that something that's in a near-ish future, or is that more of a longer-term out thing, expectation-wise?
No, they're very, very here. And so basically we need to have the standard shipping times, the customizable times, but the cards are already here. So what we need to basically do is get them ordered, get them situated for the name placement holders and that, but this is not going to be a long process. I will kind of give you a little hint with LemonPay. The biggest competitor to LemonPay is Revolt. They basically have a market valuation of about 33 billion today. And they're only about 2.5 years old. They do not have the underlying support that comes in that LemonPay does. The partners we're announcing with LemonPay, I'm telling you, that will make that look small. So no hype. We're not announcing it. Or I would actually say it's hype, but we physically are just going to sit back and let the partners announce. And I'm telling you, this is going to be a very, very fun ecosystem to play in. And everybody knows where I want to go. Everybody knows what I'm doing. If you know me, I'm just going to let the actions speak louder than words, and I speak a lot. So if I say something, trust me, my actions are going to be a lot bigger on the other side.
I love it. Lemon Club got mentioned earlier. Is that going to be a separate project or pulled into Lem Lotto? Because I know some people were asking, and can we expect that? What's the kind of the ETA on that?
So Lem Club is actually ready. We have licensing and everything for it. It is a third party. We've gone through due diligence. We know that everything is ready to go for it. We're trying to figure out how many of these L2s to launch before L1. And so I'm going to try to fit one extra one in just to allow a little bit more diversification of people that are trying to get in from the OGs. That's really it. At the end of the day, it's going to end for any swaps on August 5th. If I can give you one extra option, I will do my best to do so. So if it doesn't hit by that, we're going to slow everything up for August. It's going to be kicked until probably the first week of September, because you have testnet, you have validators popping on, then you have migration starting. It's a big process already. So I'm going to tell you that it could potentially happen before August 5th, but I think we've laid the groundwork right now that you're going to have roughly 10 migrating projects. You have the Lem token, then you have the 4 OGs, then you physically have the 5 projects that we have now released out, the 4 new ones plus Lemflix. Blah, blah.
This question has come up quite a bit, so maybe just a few comments on it. Lem Bank versus LemonPay. People are a little confused on that.
Sure. So LemonPay is a pure peer-to-peer. It's a pure transition of crypto to fiat to crypto, a payment process to get to a merchant, payment process to get to a friend, payment process to basically get your own crypto into the ecosystem. That's all. You don't get much of the banking core issues. You don't get a savings account. You don't get a money market account. You don't get an investment account. You also don't get access to gift cards. You don't get access to a lot of the bonuses on the debit cards in that. The bank gives you something else. You get rewards on the debit cards. You're getting ability to go out there and get airtime, data. The voucher process, I think, is actually even better, which is going to be country to country vouchers to move money more easily. The bank has ability to move that around the world in a lot different ways than other traditional means. So I think that the one's kind of a core. Well, one is a full core banking, and the other one is more of a money transmitter type functionality. Most people only need the financial transmitter. They're looking to try to figure out how to get it out of their checking account, get it to crypto, from the crypto, trying to get it to pay for something and or get it into this project, hopefully. But if not, get into another project. I'm all Web3. So I hope everybody's diversified out. There's a lot of cool things going out right now in the marketplace. But if you can basically look at getting a onboarding and offboarding ramp that fits the average consumer in a much more friendly way, it's getting that friction done. Both of these products do that. They just do them in different ways.
I mean, aren't we solving the remittance problem here also? I mean, that's massive. What a huge market.
That is, the remittance is LemonPay. That is 100% LemonPay. The bank is not so much into the remittance. That is LemonPay. So yes, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry every single year and a multi-billion-dollar problem every year. And so if we can solve that friction and get to a frictionless process, then sky's the limit.
I just saw a great question come up, and it's short, but there's been a lot of discussions over a long period of time about getting loans against our assets. We all recognize the benefits at this point. Is that a Lem Bank function, and is that a today or is that a next year thing?
This is why we wanted to start with the framework. So the framework starts with the bank. The bank allows for customer deposits. It allows for the ability to just getting that leverage situated for an individual basis. It will not be day one. They still have certain criteria they have to do as well. The L2 projects are set up directly to get to that point as soon as possible. The reason why is as soon as it gets to a non-depleting, meaning so as soon as the tokens stop coming into existence, it's going to be a lot easier for us to basically go out there and basically say, great, this is now an asset we can go ahead and start getting leverage on. You're going to see that we've thought a lot larger picture here about everything. We're trying to get to a point, maybe it depletes in 2 quarters, in 6 months, and we are there ready to go, because the bank needs to make sure that asset's not going to go down in value. As long as they know that the revenues are there, as long as they know that there's no more token coming to the ecosystem, it's a lot easier to lend against it. And so they don't want to print it out of existence like the U.S. Treasury does. They don't want to have that possibility for a crypto company to do. So that is why the L2s are designed the way that they are, is to get that value to the end user as soon as possible.
Well, I would say with this current tokenomics and the massive distribution cuts that I think we're going to see, we might be there Christmas then in that case, if that's the variable that we're waiting on. Who knows? Time will tell. But all right, well, we are coming up on that time. So, Jason, how about some closing statements? I would say it's kind of like the beginning of bull run season, wouldn't you?
I think just in Web3 in general, we are in a position, no matter where you're at in the world, there's actually several jurisdictions right now that are starting to turn towards a friendlier environment for Web3. And, I don't want to get too political here, but the United States has been a disaster with Web3. And I believe we kind of are hitting in a way that at least we don't have anybody standing against us. I don't really care if they stand against us or for us, as long as they don't stand against us and try to push back. I believe that is what's happening right now in the United States, from a security level to an innovation level to even capital. VC funds are starting to actually open up for the space. They're not the only ones. You have India right now that is becoming a lot more open to the idea, which is, guys, you're talking 1 billion people. You're talking China is now opening the doors to Web3. You're talking about Malaysia. You're talking about Africa. This is going to be the largest bull run, and I believe the wealth transfer this world has ever seen. I do not believe I'm understating this. This is something that I believe will change people's lives forever in ways that we will never be able to describe 40, 50 years from now. You're here. This is the time. And I will say, I think it's the right place, but Web3 is the place. Whether you like Lemon or not, you need to be in the space. Put your feel here. I think Lemon's the best place to be. So,
well, there has to be a fulcrum and access or rails or whatever metaphor you like for where those things that you just described take place. And I think that all of the framework is all in line for it. And I think a lot of dominoes, more dominoes than people think, are falling in line. I think they're going to be pretty surprised pleasantly as to what transpires next. And someday they might make movies and books about it, but time will tell, and we'll let the history write itself. And so very exciting. Grateful to have you on as usual. We'll look forward to hopefully some content on Monday. Is that fair statement? Hopefully. Yeah. Okay. Good stuff.
Yep.
We will go with that for the time being, unless something else changes. So with that, go get some sleep, my friend. Please get some rest so you can get into the next big week, because I think there's so many big things happening, and we're about to hit some real critical leapfrog junctures, and we're looking forward to it. So thank you once again, Jay. We're grateful for you. I really do mean that sincerely on behalf of everyone, and I know I am. And so thank you for your time, and we're looking forward to next week.
Very welcome. I'm going to be on Telegram probably for the next 30, 40 minutes before heading off. I've had about 10 hours sleep all week. So I'm going to spend about half an hour. Feel free to answer some questions, and then I am going to crash. Sundays are our day off, and I'm going to enjoy Sunday, and then back into the saddle on Monday and kicking it off. So we'll talk soon, guys. Thank you.
Great. Have a great one, guys.